What is up, my dudes? We've got the Corporate Esports Association Dota 2 Spring 2019 tournament going on. Today we've got Deviant Odds, also known as HP Dota, representing HP, and Usually Toasted, also known as $6 million Echo Slam, representing Echo Global Logistics. So I do apologize to Echo Global Logistics. I got their name wrong in the previous video, but it wasn't clear from the team name what the company name was. So apologies there, and let's hop into the draft. And we've got the Invoker ban in the first ban for the side of HP. A little bit odd. Invoker has a lot of lane counters. TA is pretty prominent, so it's not that common that you pick Invoker first. PA a little bit similar, but PA is sort of first pick material. She doesn't feel as good as she did in the heydays of 7.20, when she was picked every single game. Wraith bans got nerfed pretty significantly. Storm, the exact same point I wanted to make about Invoker. He has a lot of counters. Usually you want to pick Storm in a game where there's no stuns or disables, and pick Storm last to take over the game. The early Storm ban doesn't really feel that worth it.
5 seconds.
On the side of $6 million Echo Slam, they've got the Bounty Hunter ban. Bounty, very popular hero right now. Ricky, not so popular, but a bit of a pub stomping hero, so probably just not feeling very comfortable against Ricky. But Ricky doesn't feel that good right now. At least usually when I play Ricky, I just end up feeding, but maybe I'm just not good enough at Ricky. AM, similar to Invoker and Storm Spirit, you want to pick him in a game where it's like pretty much free. So usually see him closer to the end of the draft. Gonna see Lion come out of HP Dota. Lion, pretty good hero right now. A little bit weak in the laning phase, but that Finger of Death damage, if you can stack it up, it really hurts in the late game. One of the few supports that scale. Benj and Ogre coming out from the side of $6 million Echo Slam. They can use this to really buff up a carry. Benj with the damage aura, and Ogre with the attack speed. So maybe looking to see if we're gonna see big Agi carry. You know, your Terror Blades, your Medusas, your Morphlings, PL even. PL less so. You don't want to reveal which one's the real one with the Bloodlust. But yeah, the draft is pretty open from $6 million Echo Slam. Also a little bit odd, picking the first two supports in the first two phases, and the same with HP Dota, picking Shadow Shaman. So the supports are completely locked in this game already. Lots of lockdown coming out. The Earth Spike and Hex, Shadow Shaman, the Hex and the Shackles, Magic Missile and Swap from the Vengeful Spirit, and the Fire Blast from the Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi, probably the only one who we don't see very often anymore. He just doesn't feel very good after level 2. In the laning phase, he's got 8 armor and 5 regen. Feels like a complete beast. But the rest of the game, he just feels like a Bloodlust bot. You don't really contribute much with your spells. The change to multicast to affect items doesn't really play a big role, especially if you're a support. But you know, in the pre 7.20 last patch, we did see Ogre offlane a few times, and it just doesn't seem that common anymore. These aura items that offlaners normally build, the Greaves, the Pipe, they actually don't stack. So if you get a multicast, it probably actually, we should probably go into the lab and test this one out. I'm not really sure what the interaction is. Greaves normally has a cooldown, so you can't stack multiple Greaves on your team, but it's coming from the same source, so it might still work. A little bit odd interaction there, not really sure what's happening. Usually Toasted banning the Terror Blade themselves, so a little bit odd. Terror Blade would be a great fit in their lineup right now. Luna ban coming out of HP. Luna would be perfect with this lineup. Nice supports to be able to set up this Luna for success. So nice ban coming out of HP Dota. Normally I don't like Luna as a hero, she's a little bit too greedy, but they've got the setup for it right now, so good ban. Omni Knight, another great hero for this 4 Protect 1 strategy, where you just buff up one of your carries to the point where they're unkillable. The status resistance on Omni Knight, as well as the insane amount of HP regen, is pretty good. Spirit Breaker ban coming out of $6 million Echo Slam, a little bit odd since they've already revealed the supports on the side of HP Dota, and Spirit Breaker, you don't really see him as a position 3 anymore. It's normally that 5 position. Viper coming out of usually toasted. Viper, pretty strong hero right now. Did get nerfed a lot recently. The Nether Toxin continually gets nerfed. He had a 60% win rate at the Divine tier level, and even in the Pro scene he had like 50 plus, which is ridiculous for most heroes, especially a hero who was quite often first picked, which means that the rest of the draft he wasn't able to be counted and still had over a 50% win rate. Viper seen better days though. Let's see the Lifestealer come out of HP Dota. Pretty safe pick overall, so not anything too crazy. Let's see what's going to happen with this support duo though. Lion and Shadow Shaman both want a lot of farm to stay relevant in the game, otherwise sometimes you just end up feeding. The spells have kind of a low range. You want to get a Blink Dagger earlier, both of these heroes. So one of them's going to have to give up farm to buy wards. The other one's going to try and get a Blink Dagger early, I think. Shadow Shaman, a little bit better as a 4 position, has a higher chance of closing out the game on his own with the Serpent Wards, but a Lion with an early Blink Dagger is pretty scary too. So either one's fine. I would probably prefer if the Lion was a 5 position this game. Pangoli coming out of usually toasted. We've been seeing mid Pangoli a lot recently. The buff to his base damage made him a viable mid laner again. Oh, not again. He is traditionally been playing on the off lane, but they already have this Viper, and Viper is pretty terrible in the off lane. So these lanes already fixed for the side of $6 million Echo Slam, the Viper mid, Pangoli off lane. It's going to be unlikely that they swap it. Even odds, gonna probably look to pick their off laner right now. They do have the next pick in the draft as well, so order doesn't really matter too much. You get to protect your next pick with the next ban, so pretty good. If they pick the offlaner, they pick Undying. Undying's not that common as an offlaner these days. Normally see him in that 5 position, but Undying can get a lot of work done if he gets farm. The early Aghanim's is pretty great. A natural Greaves buyer, which is something that fits the offlane build pretty good these days. But unfortunately, he doesn't farm very fast. Decay, not very good at taking creep waves, and it's just going to be really slowed down compared to the Pangoli. The Pangoli is going to have way more items than him, just because of the nature of the hero. Nina Ben coming out from $6 million Echo Slam. I like this a lot. They need to just convert, get early kills, and snowball with the Undying a little bit, and just make space for this Lifestealer. The Laguna Blade, Finger of Death combo, a lot of single target bursts coming out if you let this draft go through. So good ban overall from $6 million Echo Slam. The great part is they have the last pick as well. They're gonna pick. They already have their mid picked, so HP they can pick a mid who does decent against Viper. Spectre Bang coming out of HP as well, so trying to get the late game advantage with Lifesteal. There's still a few heroes left in the pool that Lifesteal is gonna struggle with. PL kind of does okay against Lifestealer. Terrorblade's still in the pool. Terrorblade's going to do really well against the Lifestealer. So we'll see what $6 million Echo Slam looks to go for. A Weaver pick from HP. Very odd. Weaver, not a very good hero right now. She's just very squishy overall. Gonna go mid against Sliper coming out of $6 million Echo Slam. Sniper we normally see in the mid lane instead of the safe lane. The mid lane is a lot easier to defend. It's much more wide open, so a bit harder to sneak up on the sniper. But this Viper is not very good in the safe lane either. They're probably going to see the Viper mid and the sniper in the safe lane. I don't really like the sniper safe lane that much though. And Weaver going to be the mid up against the Viper. It's going to be pretty rough. Viper can just... Well, we'll see what the Viper goes for. If he's going to go for this Nether Toxin build we've been seeing on pretty much every Viper for the last few months, then maybe Weaver can deal with it. Just Shikuchi out of the Nether Toxin. But maybe we'll see the old school carry build come out of the Viper. The sniper pick, I think, can do pretty well. There's not much to catch him. He supports on the side of $6 million HP, sorry. The supports on the side of HP, they're gonna need a lot of farm before they can catch up to the sniper. Get those blink daggers up and running. In the meantime, all they have left in the tank is this Infest Bomb coming out of the Weaver and Lifesteal combo, which sounds pretty cool on paper, but a lot of the times want to be pretty patient with your Infest Bombs, just wait for the right opportunities, but the Shukuchi only lasts for 4 seconds. It has a 2-second downtime, so not too bad, but you don't want to reveal yourself until the Lifestealer Bomb actually happens. But let's hop into the game. We've got HP, on the side of HP we've got James on the Lifestealer, Lion on the, MD Lavi on the Lion, we've got Pseudo on the Undying, Kaboom 300 on the Weaver, and Morglum S on the Shadow Shaman. On the side of $6 million XSM, we've got Jams on the Pangolier, Fluffy Bunny on the Vengeful Spirit, Viper, Rixton on the Viper, Ogre Ouroboratica on the Ogre Magi, very difficult name to pronounce, and Squidlips on the Sniper. So we're going to see this safe lane Sniper, didn't go for mid items, would have gotten a full Wraith Band early on. We'll see how this goes. Bot lane is probably going to be the one with the most action right now. Well, not really sure what's going on in the camera here. Lion can just walk up and stun. They both have stun, so it's a little bit hard to contest here. We're just gonna see 2 for 2 boundaries. Not too much happening in this lane, in this early phase of the game. Let's dive in the lanes, see how these blocks goes. Very important as a range hero to get a good block, but Weaver misses the block early on. Viper also missing the block, so they're gonna meet in the middle. You want to have the creep wave closer to your side and make sure you're up the hill, so there's a 40% chance of them missing up the hill, particularly when they go for the range creep. They're pretty important stuff. Viper will get the range creep first wave. Weaver seems to be kind of okay, finally goes for the last hit. Double Shukuchi first, but Viper will end up getting the deny anyway, so feels really bad. Already an XP advantage for the Viper. Range creep giving 2 times as much experience, maybe 3 times as much experience as the melee creep. So very important that you get this, especially in a 1v1. Top lane, so this is going to be this Venge against the Shadow Shaman. They're both quite low range heroes. We'll see what Sniper decides to take. He gets level 1 Shrapnel instead of the Take Aim. Normally you see, it's all about player preference, honestly. I usually take Aim level 1 just to get that little bit of extra range and be a bit safer. Especially in this safe lane, it's kind of scary. There's so many ways to sneak up on the Sniper. You've got this route, back here. Venge just randomly feeds. It walks up to the Undying with not much strength. Undying stolen 16 strength from both the Venge and the Sniper combined, so not much HP on the Venge. Just gets killed with an Ether Shot. 140 damage at level 1, so big damage coming out. Pangolier getting pushed back a little bit. We're going to see a tri-lane come out of the side of $6 million Ecosystem. Open wounds onto the Pangolier, but he just swashbuckles out. So Ogre's up here now. Has level 1 Ignite instead of Fire Blast, so they can't go for the chain stun, but Ignite, a 5-second slow at level 1, so not too bad. Take Aim from the Sniper coming out at level 2, so it makes a lot of sense. Just wants to get that little bit of extra range. It helped take out the Tombstone a bit faster, but now there's 3 heroes up here against an Undying, and if he gets a bunch of 3-man decays, he's been doing really well with these 2-man decays so far. If he gets a 3-man decay, that's going to be pretty big. It's not going to be a whole lot that they can do to hurt this Undying if that happens. Now the Ether Shot comes out from the Shadow Shaman. He's pretty low on mana, might use his Clarity soon. But it's pretty hard to keep it on. There's this Ignite. Magic Missile comes out onto the Undying. Shrapnel comes out, but there's still that delay, that 1-second delay that got introduced right after Sniper was pretty god tier for a really long time. Interestingly enough, the cooldown has pretty much gone back down to a 40-second recharge time. It was pretty much what it was back at the peak of when Sniper was ho-ho-ha-haing everyone, just being a cancer on society. Maybe we'll see Sniper come back into the meta, but the 1-second delay to the Shrapnel was pretty big. Swashbuckle comes out onto the Lifesteal, gets the silence. He's pretty deep. They couldn't just open wounds him. Doesn't have any mana left, so he's gonna have to go back. Maybe he's got a Mango to get himself out of the next sticky situation. I like this early point in Lucky Shot. The shield crash not doing a whole lot in this lane. So get that early point in Lucky Shot just for the random RNG. Lucky Shot did get nerfed a lot recently. They get 7.21D. Can't apply silence, disarm at the same time, and the chance went down from 20% to 17. That's 1 in 6 instead of 1 in 5. Lifestealer going for an early phase boost. We'll see if he decides to go for that Midas Radiance build that we always see on Lifestealer. But if they want to fight early, he can go for an early armlet. It kind of feels bad that I haven't really seen much success with the armlet Lifestealer. Well, she goes to last hits tonight. In the mid lane, Weaver getting absolutely crushed in lane. 18 last hits on the Viper, 12 denies against the 7 and 3 of Weaver, and Weaver really low with no regen left. Getting an early boot switch doesn't make that much sense. If you're in this mid lane, CEA made this style really popular where you just keep shift-ferrying regen to yourself and try and out-sustain them. Weaver in a lot of trouble, can't really come up to the lane anymore as well. And Viper, we're seeing this max poison attack build. We haven't seen this in a few months now. This Nether Toxin has been so good for so long. It has gotten nerfed a lot recently. It no longer stacks with itself, which is a little bit unfortunate. But it still helps him farm so much faster than this poison attack build. But looking to crush this Weaver in lane, Weaver already a full level behind the Viper. So it's working out for now. We'll see how this Viper continues to scale. 5-minute bounty runes are coming up. They're gonna get one at top on the side of HP, and the other one's gonna go to $6 million Egg Slam. So 2 for 2 bounty runes going either team's way. So pretty even overall. Less than 1k gold lead. So this game's still pretty close. This mid lane is a bit of a disaster for the side of HP. This Weaver solo already just rotating top, decides he doesn't want to be in the lane against Viper anymore. Viper almost level 6, so it's going to be really hard for this Weaver to keep up. And this Venge, she might die here, getting pretty low. Geminate attack comes out, the plus 20 damage now on the second hit. Shackles onto the Ogre Magi. Ogre really tanky. He's got 8 armor and 6 HP regen. They're going to be able to take him out. They're going to have to dive really deep for it. They're not going to get it. But Ogre living by the skin of his teeth, but hits an Ogre Magi, feels no fear. But this Weaver, he's coming back into mid lane, but he's 2 levels behind the Viper now. There's not a whole lot he can do. The Viper strike range is kind of small. That's why we've been seeing ATOS so much on the Viper recently. Just a better way to get a nice long range initiation. We probably won't see that out of the Viper. Normally you see that with a Nether Toxin build. Keeps them in the Nether Toxin a bit longer as well. But this Poison Attack build, maybe we'll just see Viper going for like a more of a carry build. Going for Treads instead of Arcane Boots, so a very clear indication that he's going to go for a more of a carry build. And they've also got this Pangolier to buy the aura items for their team, so bit of pressure taken off the Viper a little bit. But I still think that even if you have another Creeps buyer, you should go for it. Viper Strike comes out onto the Weaver after the dust. Isn't able to get a follow-up poison attack. He may have died to that. But Weaver will make it out.
Middle tower is being attacked.
Ho Ho Ha Ha's coming out of the sniper. Is level 2 shrapnel now, so trying to wait for that level 3 power. Level 5 power spike. 1-1-1 coming out of the Vengeful Spirit. I like this a lot. I think the Max Magic Missile is a mistake. Pangolier getting really low. Doesn't have any mana left, so he's gonna go down. Can't find him in the trees. He manages to escape, and he's gonna get away. He's pretty fast, 356 move speed. This Lion has boots, but is still a lot slower. And Lifestealer, he wants to go back to hitting creeps. He doesn't want to chase his Pangolier forever. So Pangolier, he will make it out by the skin of his teeth. Good stuff all around, nice jukes. And he's got his Arcane Boots now, so spam that Swashbuckle, and he's got a Shrine up as well. Top lane, the Ignite comes out onto 2 heroes. And dying, and Shadow Shaman pretty low on mana, so not going to be too useful. There's a regen rune at top, but no one has any wards in mid to spot that. Shadow Shaman queues up and buys a mango. He's going to send the courier, so just to grab the mango, a little bit of a waste. Maybe should try and make this courier trip worth it. Treads on the sniper already. We'll see what he wants to go for. Maybe a Mask of Madness, maybe a Maelstrom, or maybe a quick Hurricane Pike. Just to get out of this open wounds. They don't have much else to catch him afterwards. Next, onto the Pangolier, but the Pangolier is full health, full mana, doesn't really have anything to fear. And he got Rolling Thunder too, so after the Hex and the Earth Spike run out from the Lion, there's not much to stop him. You're gonna have to bring Shadow Shaman in as well, but even then, I still don't think they have enough damage to kill him. If he, depending on how he gets the shield crash up, Swashbuckle comes forward, misses the Lifestealer completely. Lifestealer gets the range creep tonight, so he should have used his shield crash to get that there. Shadow Shaman almost got Arcane Boots, so feeling pretty good this game. Lion is going to be the position 5 for the most part, but also Shadow Shaman buying wards, probably just for his lane. Magic Missile onto the Undying Fire Blast follow-up, but not much they can do to kill him. He's pretty tanky. 8 stolen strength even, he's only going to get tankier. No points in the Soul Rip, which is a little bit odd. This Decay doesn't really scale that well. The cooldown reduction is nice, but really, you really want the Soul Rip to get the burst damage. Weaver coming top now, has given up on mid lane completely. Has a Void Stone queued up, so probably gonna go for a Linken's. I don't really like this that much. Ogre breaks the smoke. They're gonna go for this anyway though. Tombstone gets dropped down. Viper's here now. They're gonna get the sniper. Shackles onto the sniper. They kill the sniper. The Viper Strike onto the Shadow Shaman, but then he turns around to go for the Undying, and they're all gonna get away. So nice gank coming out of the side of HP. Not really sure how they managed to get anything though. The Ogre broke the smoke pretty early on, but they still got a kill on the sniper, so some poor plays coming out of the sniper, I think. But anyway, I don't like this Linken's very much. It doesn't really protect you against anything useful. Like, sure, you can dodge a stun, or like a Fire Blast or a Magic Missile, but it just doesn't seem worth it. He really needs damage early on. They're gonna need the Weaver to fight early to make up for this Lifestealer. Wanting to farm, he's going for a Midas, probably gonna go for a Radiance afterwards. So pretty stock standard stuff from the Lifestealer, which means this Weaver needs to get active and make space. I would prefer to see a Diffusal Blade come out from the Weaver early on. Sniper, go for a Dragon Lance, so we'll see if he decides to go for the Hurricane Pike straight away. Cancel TP out of the Ogre, deciding, actually not really sure what he's doing. Top lane, gonna go for this tower with the Siege Creep, we'll just put some pressure on it at least. Ether Shock comes out onto the Venge getting very low, but we'll just walk it off. Not much to stop her at this point. 2 Mangoes coming out, but they're not really gonna fight, so not really that worth it. So he could farm this wave with the Nether Toxin if he maxed it out first. He's gotten for this poison attack build, also going for a Dragon Lance. Again, Force Staffs are really good against Lifestealer. He open wounds you, just Force Staff your teammates away. And then the open wounds is really the only way that the Lifestealer by himself can catch you. Obviously, there is this Lion who's got a Blink queued up, but he's not going to get it for a really long time. The Shadow Shaman doesn't have a Blink queued up yet, should probably go for it next, but maybe he'll go for an Axe as well. Or even an Aether Lens. We've been seeing raw Aether Lens on Shadow Shaman as well. Pretty popular these days. That cast range, really huge, especially with this level 15 talent, 125 cast range. Shackles, you can shackle from so far away, the Hex as well.
Regeneration.
So I'd be okay with either Aether Lens or Blink. I don't think Ags first is the right choice here. They really need more initiation. This Undying, one of the problems with Undying is the safe lane, so he doesn't have much initiation. He drops the Tombstone, they're gonna go for the Ogre? No, they jump the Venge on the back lane. They can get the Ogre as well if the Shadow Shaman comes back in. But he's kind of far away. The Ogre slowed down a little bit. Ether Shock comes out. Ogre getting very low, and they're gonna get it with Shikuchi.
A double slaughter.
It shackles onto the Venge illusion. The good rotation, getting 2 kills from the side of HP. Nice 600 gold swing. Almost 700. Serpent Wards drop down for the top tower, so they're looking to get this. They don't have the catapult wave, unfortunately, so it's going to take a little bit longer. They need to clear this wave as quickly as possible. Undying just pulls it into the neutral camp, so that's another option if you don't want to deal with the creep wave. Just pull it into the neutral camp, and you can get the experience with both as well. Undying walking away from the creeps though, so won't get the experience bonus. Viper's here now. The tower's already down, so there's nothing to defend. They're not going to be able to catch the side of HP. They don't have anything to stop this Weaver from just Shikuchiing out right now. Short of like a swap, but Venge isn't level 6 yet. looks like... Oh, who took the tone from the side of $1 million Echo Slam? Lion, not quite level 6 yet either, so it looks like Shadow Shaman took the shackles. The Pangoli, very deep, gets shackled underneath the shrine, so they're gonna... It looks like the Shadow Shaman baited him in pretty hard. A 3k gold advantage for the side of HP already, so doing really well. 13 minutes into the game, a 60, almost 70% win probability thanks to Dota Plus on the side of HP. And the XP is pretty even at this point, so a bit of an advantage coming the way of HP Dota. But it's going to be all about this life steal. He's going for an armlet, interestingly enough. You rarely see this, a Midas into armlet. Obviously, Midas gives Lifestealer the attack speed he so desperately needs. So a follow-up armlet makes him able to fight early. Earlier than a Radiance at least. Radiance, you still want an extra item after the Radiance sometimes. Bench will drop a ward down, but it'll get instantly de-warded, which feels really bad. He gets hexed for his troubles. But just gonna disengage here. Lion's here now. 2-man decay onto the Ogre and the Viper. Viper dropping down the Nether Toxin. The Lion, he's by himself. He's just gonna feed. And the Shadow Shaman, he just walks up as well. He's also gonna go down. They're gonna get the Venge at least. But this Viper doing so much damage right now. He's out of mana, so no more poison attacks. Can they get this Undying? And the Assassinate's gonna come out, get the kill onto the Sniper. So good stuff. Could have gotten the kill onto the Weaver as well, and he wouldn't have been able to time-lapse the damage off. But focusing on the easier kills, the Weaver may not have been guaranteed, at least like, probably didn't do the math. But Weaver, a very low HP hero, so may have been able to get that. Mid tower being pressured a little bit. The catapult wave is coming. Gonna get this tower for very little contest. Dragonlance done on the Sniper. He's got a Maelstrom queued up, so looking to farm some more. Maelstrom also allows him to get pretty good damage off in the fights now. And they've got this bulky Viper in front. He's going for a drum, so a lot of stat items on the Viper. He's already pretty tanky. This Viper's going to be a lot of trouble for the side of HP Dota. He can slow the Lifestealer down even during rage with the Viper Strike. It's going to make this Lifestealer's job pretty hard to accomplish. This Lion and the Shadow Shaman, they really need to step up their games. Last fight, they kind of just walked in one by one and fed the Viper. Very questionable behavior. But going back for a Hurricane Pike after the drums, I love this. Just get more 4-stuffs against the Lifestealer is going to make his job really hard. Pangoli going for a Maelstrom as well as the Sniper. Maelstrom pretty important on the Pangoli. Just helps him deal just that little bit more damage. For every opponent that you swashbuckle, that's a pseudo-certain Maelstrom hit. Weaver, Lifestealer Bomb onto the Sniper. This is what I wanted to see. Nice aggressive moves onto the Viper, onto the Sniper, and he'll go down. The late Impale coming out from the Lion, so not sure what he's doing. But they get the kill anyway, so nice pick off from the Weaver Lifestealer Bomb. This is kind of what I wanted to see from this combo. Looks like $6 million Echo Slam. They want to defend this tower. It's going to be pretty tough. There's no tombstone on the side of Undying though. So this fight's going to be pretty hard. Rolling Thunder comes in, hits onto all 5 heroes. The shield crash on the side is kind of wasted, doesn't hit anyone. Viper with a Viper Strike onto the Shadow Shaman. So Shadow Shaman should go down. This Pangoli causing so much chaos. Lifestealer uses his rage and it runs out already. Swapped back into the crowd. The Fire Blast gets pump faked, cancelled. Kind of odd there, but they do end up getting the kill onto the Lifestealer with the Sniper nonetheless. Lion finishes off the Pangoli. It doesn't get the Finger of Death kill, but he'll still have it. But this tower is going to go down. There's going to be no way for the side of HP to defend it. They still don't have tombstone. They have it now. Undying, beat up an Axe, bought the point boost already, but looks like he's going to go back for a Hood, so kind of odd decision making there. Just not really sure what he wants to go for. The only main source of magic damage is his Viper right now, and I don't think a Pipe is worth it against the solo Viper. Yeah, he does a lot of AoE damage with the Nether Toxin, a lot of damage over time, but I don't really think, like, the Sniper, the physical threat from the Sniper is going to be way bigger. 1,000 gold from his Maelstrom. He's looking to have a pretty good game right now. The net worth chart, Viper way ahead of the pack. Almost has his 4-staff done. I think he's got his Hurricane Pike as well on the courier. So a little bit odd going for the Hurricane Pike recipe first. Iron pretty far away from a Blink Dagger, only halfway. The Shadow Shaman also halfway to a Blink Dagger, so it's going to be some time before they're able to initiate. It's still going to be all on this Weaver, who's going for a Linken's. I think this is a mistake. He really needs to be able to dish out the damage early. There's not much disable. They have the Swashbuckle from the Pengali. There's these a Fire Blast and the Magic Missile. You can usually outrun the Magic Missile, at least like unless they dust you up, and then you can just dodge it with a time lapse. So dust not that effective against Weaver, and the Fire Blast is really low range. So this Weaver shouldn't have too much to fear. I don't know why he's going for a Linken's. Wrap around from the side of $6 million Echo Sand. They're going to catch out the Shadow Shaman. Drums coming out on the Viper, and the Shadow Shaman's going to meet his doom. A Shrapnel will reveal him on the other side of the trees, and he'll go down to the Vengeful Spirit. Nice injection of gold for the Vengeful Spirit. Went for an Arcane Boots, so we may see an Aether Lens come out of her. Very important on the Venge. Another very low cast range here at this Magic Missile. Not that big. Wave of Terror is huge though, but this Nether Swap scales with the levels. The main thing that's important is the Aether Lens is basically 2.5 levels of Nether Swap. It feels pretty good to have the Aether Lens early on. They're gonna go for this tier 2 tower now. There's not much that I don't know what they can do. Lifestealer Weaver Bomb coming in. They get the Vengeful Spirit, but there's nothing to stop this Sniper now. The Sniper just on the backline wailing away. Viper dropping a nice Nether Toxin, a path of Nether Toxins. Just being a nuisance against the side of HP Dota, and they're on the retreat, but you can't really retreat against the Sniper. Assassinate will come out onto the Lifestealer, the Lifestealer will go down, the Undying's gonna go down too, and Shadow Shaman is just on the side, unable to join the fight because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet. Even then, the rest of his team was down, so it wasn't really worth him to give his life. He might still go down here, he's posturing a bit, but he might just get caught out by the Swashbuckle on cooldown. Pengali getting really low from the tower, just barely makes it out. The Weaver, he time lapses back into the fight where he respawned. Will manage to get out with the Shikuchi. Not much detection on the side of $6 million Echo Slam. 20-minute bounty runes are up now. That fight did distract them a little bit. Viper already done with the Hurricane Pike. It's getting it shipped out now. Sniper done with the Maelstrom.
This will come in handy.
And Pengali also done with the Maelstrom. Gonna go for the Basher instead of the Greaves after the Maelstrom. Wants to be a bit more aggressive, thinking that his team that last fight just survived fine on their own with just the base kit. They don't need the Greaves to help them. Maybe we'll go back for the Greaves afterwards. I'd like to see that. It's also nice to have this extra way to interrupt the Lifestealer during rage. The Bash doesn't care about BKB, and the Swashbuckle 4 hits, and the Basher a 25% bash chance. So pseudo certain to get a bash per Swashbuckle. So if you can Swashbuckle with the Lifestealer, it's going to be in a lot of trouble. Hurricane Pike forward by the Viper. He's going to catch up to this Weaver. Weaver jukes him out with the time lapse, so, and we'll end up getting the tower in mid. So great play by the Weaver. Also picks up the double damage right in front of the Viper. Just being obnoxious overall. He's got his ultimate orb now, still about 1200 gold away from the Linken Sphere. But I just don't think this Linken Sphere is going to do very much. Undying almost got a pipe, just the recipe away now. Will help his team bulk up a little bit against the Viper, but don't really help against any of the other heroes. Might block a Ignite. The Sniper is... well, he had his Maelstrom done a while ago. It's just been sitting in his stash. Viper stealing the Courier away from the Sniper. And Maelstrom is a nice farming item, so you want to get it as soon as you're able to. Viper walking into the Undying. Hex onto the Viper, but they don't have any damage up here. Tombstone will go down, but it's a defensive Tombstone, and they're going to be able to farm it for that juicy 150 gold. Viper going to take out the Tombstone. Actually, it's 200 gold. Pengali finishes Rolling Thunder very far forward, but there's not much to stop him. Shadow Shaman can hold him down with the Hex and the Shackles, but Don't know if they have the damage to kill him right now, especially if he gets a shield crash off before he gets stunned. Just a Mithril Hammer away from his Basher now. Viper going for a Manta style, so leaning into that carry build a bit more. Only 3 points with the Nether Toxin, so really not understanding the strength of Viper right now. But this build is working out for him. He did a lot of damage in that previous fight with just laying down the Nether Toxin, so as team HP were approaching, they were just taking passive damage over time, just being annoying overall. Hurricane Pike forward onto the Lion. Lion still has a Hex, but he's probably going to go down here. Swashbuckle out from the Peng Li, and a shield crash will kill him before he's able to hit TP out.
Down you go.
This is definitely the right build from Peng Li. You want to max these two out. A Hex onto the Viper again, as Shrapnel comes out. Nice two-man Swashbuckle onto the Weaver, manages to silence him as well. The Lifestealer, he's by himself, he's shining up, but he's gonna go down. He's against 5 heroes by himself. He's not ready to fight yet either, but Armlet not good enough to help him 1v5. He's gonna go down. A complete disaster on the side of HP. A 2k gold swing going the way of $6 million Echo Slam. So, that nice silence on the Weaver with the lucky shot manages to take him out before he's able to time-lapse the Shukuchi away. So nice RNG coming out of Peng Li. Venge has her Aether Lens done if she wants to disassemble her Mana Boots. Ogre has Mana Boots too and is probably also going for an Aether Lens. This extra energy booster. So, not too bad. Weaver TP's in, sees the Venge. But he's gonna ignore her. Venge can just stun her afterwards. So, not gonna be able to get that kill on the Venge. There's 8k gold lead for the side of $6 million Echo Slam. Doing pretty well this fight. The Sniper has just been able to deal damage uncontested. He's gonna go for a Mjolnir next. So, he thinks the Hurricane Pike is more than enough defenses for this game, and I kind of agree with him. They haven't been able to get close to him. There's no Blink Daggers yet on the supports of HP, so all they have for initiation is this Weaver Lifestealer Bomb, and it did okay in that mid fight earlier. They got the Venge straight away, but then the Sniper was free to just hit people, and the Sniper did so much damage. Especially with this Bloodlust as well. Level 4 Bloodlust, so the Ogre, he's pretty much as strong as he's going to be for the rest of this game. All he's got to do is soak up a bit of damage for his cause, 1.5k HP almost, and just Bloodlust the Sniper and the Viper as well. Viper going for a carry build, a right-click oriented build, so... The Bloodlust getting extra value. It's probably why the Viper went for the right-click build over the magic build that we've been seeing so often. This Bloodlust, a great addition. Undying has a pipe. He's going back for the Ags, but he's really far away from it now. Even just be too late for the Ags. The Ags is pretty good though, stealing 10 strength per decay. Every 4 seconds he gets another 500 HP. Pretty nuts. Oh, sorry, wait, that math didn't work out at all. Strength gives 20 HP per strength. Yeah, 200 HP per decay. I definitely know how to do math. I'm an engineer. But he can also decay multiple people, which feels even better. Lifestealer going for an SMY, trying to get a little bit of that status resistance up. Goes for the Sanj first, a little bit uncommon. You really want the Yasha for the extra move speed, right? Lifestealer, all about that move speed. He's got phase boots. We occasionally see drums out of this aggressive Lifestealer build. Kind of like the Ursa, you just want to run at people at close to 500 move speed. Venge with the Aether Lens disassembled her mana boots to get it. So I like that a lot. Ogre has money for the Aether Lens if he wants to buy it. I don't know what he's saving up for. Aether Lens would be a pretty big increase, upgrade to the Ogre Magi. Fire Blast, the cast range is a bit short. But the best part about this Ogre build, and I think this is definitely the ideal Ogre build, he did go for Ignite first, which is a bit questionable. It depends on the playstyle mostly. I normally max Bloodlust first, but Ignite, Fire Blast, unless you're an offlaner, you should never max Ignite first. The stun duration doesn't scale, and the mana cost goes up by so much that it just feels pretty terrible to play. Lifestealer in the Weaver again. They might see... I don't see anyone yet. They see the Viper attacking the neutral creeps, but gonna do anything about it. Weaver comes in, he sees the Viper, they're gonna go on the Viper, but Viper, he's really taking him, he force toss onto the shrine, there's no one to stun him before he gets onto the shrine, and Viper getting really low will end up going down. So great kill from the side of HP, showing that they have the damage to kill this Viper. Viper didn't build defensive items this game, and the drums does give him a bit of strength, but usually you want to use it aggressively. The Hurricane Pike gives him a bit of strength as well, but he forced stuff onto the shrine and he still died. So a lot of damage coming out from the side of HP. They didn't even use the Finger of Death. Nice Lifestealer bomb coming out of the Weaver again. He's got his Diffusal Blade queued up now, so more damage going to come out of this Weaver soon. He's got level 15, took the Mana Break talent, pretty big on the Weaver. Nice DPS increase. He gets the Mana Break on both hits with the Geminate attack. Pretty nice. Undying has one of the another Ags component ready, so halfway to his Ags, the Infest Bomb from the Lifestealer onto the Vengeful Spirit. They're gonna go finish off the Vengeful Spirit, and the Sniper is just gonna run away. Viper TPing into a bunch of heroes. He's going to force stuff back. Ogre starts TPing for some reason. The Undying gets bashed by the Swashbuckler. They take out the Tombstone. It's just going to be the Undying going down on the side of HP. The Courier goes down to the Sniper, so great snipe by the Sniper. Yeah, they get this Lifestealer bomb onto the Venge, but then they have to run. There's not much they can do afterwards. But this Venge presents a huge problem, because if they Lifestealer bomb onto anyone else, the Venge can just swap them out and give her own life again. So, a pretty difficult game for HP Dota. These fights are going to be really hard to execute. Maybe once the Blink Daggers come out on the support, Lion and Shadow Shaman, they can keep the Venge busy while the Weaver and the Lifestealer go on the Sniper. It's probably the best game plan right now. The problem with that is that the Venge can... the Viper is going to try and block the supports from getting it. Another Lifestealer infest into the Weaver. This is the problem. Weaver, he's only got 4 seconds on the Shikuchi, so if he wants to sneak up on them, they have to be 4 seconds away. And coming out on the Undying, a little bit odd, decides not to go for the Ags. Not really sure what this Urn's going to achieve right now. A little bit of extra healing is nice. Looks like they're going for a smoke. They finally go for the smoke, but I think it was... No, this is a Radiant Ward. They're not going to be able to see this. Ogre up in front. They're gonna catch the Ogre. Oh, they get the Pangoli instead. A really slow reaction from the side of the Pangoli, so he'll get hexed. He could have swashbuckled out. There was plenty of time for him to react. They're gonna pursue forward on the side of HP. Running up a hill against the Viper is a really bad idea though. The Nether Toxin on the low ground. They're gonna get the Venge early on, but the Sniper, he's just in the backline. There's nothing left to catch him. Fast start forward from the Undying. The Viper, Sniper, he just kills the Lifestealer. His man fighting the Lifestealer, there's nothing the Lifestealer can do. Sniper getting pretty low, but he just ends up killing the Weaver anyway, and the Undying. And this Lion also gonna go down. A full team wipe for the side of $6 million Ecosystem. The Sniper did so much damage in that fight. 4,700 damage. And this Viper as well, he got 5 heroes, there's Nether Toxin, and they just stood in it for a long time because they were standing. He put it the Nether Toxin at choke point, so they had to walk through it. Excellent positioning by the Viper. And the Sniper as well, just in the backline, wailing away. No one able to catch him. Even when the Weaver comes up, he just dies. The Weaver, not really that tanky right now. Only 1,400 HP. Sniper just pew-pewing away. They're gonna get this T3 tower. Maybe go back for the Shrines and Roche, so... Pretty safe play overall. There's a double damage at bot, but no one sees it. They don't have any wards. We're gonna take this Shrine. They're gonna make the next Roche attempts pretty hard from the side of HP. See if they go back for the Roche. These 30-minute bounty runes are still up. Okay, nice gold injection going the way of $6 million Echo Slam, and the 17k gold ahead. The win rate looking very much in their favor right now. and another almost 15k experience ahead. And HP, they're struggling right now. Lifestealer has money for SNY and buyback as well. Lion finally finishes off his blink. The Shadow Shaman deciding to go for a point booster. I don't agree with this at all. They really need more initiation. They haven't been able to make it into the fights. They show up at the end because they're so slow. Like they're slow heroes. I'm not blaming the players, but they show up pretty close to the end, just end up beating and aren't able to lock down the enemy heroes that much. There was this fight earlier with Lion. Didn't quite make it in time to hex the Viper before he was stuffed out. Serpent Ward's dropped for the mid tower. Gonna see $6 million Echo Slam try and defend this, and they just leave. So the Serpent Wards will be farmed up by the Sniper and the Viper. Nice gold injection. A Fire Blast coming out onto the Undying, who just shrugs it off completely, and Ogre will just walk away. Guardian Greaves now coming out of the Pangolier. He thinks he's reached his peak in damage output, so the only item left for him to get that's really good for damage on the Pangolier is the Fusel Blade, so maybe we'll see him go for that next. A Daedalus coming out on the Sniper. He's only the recipe away, 1k gold away now. He doesn't have any fear. He doesn't feel like he's gonna be pressured a whole lot. Doesn't want to go for any defensive items. Weaver with the Infest Bomb. The Swashbuckle is used, but he's just going to Rolling Thunder away, so not much they can do to catch him. Viper, look at that attack speed with the Bloodlust. We don't normally see Viper attack that fast. He's going for an Assault Cuirass, which is great. The Sniper not going for any defensive items, so the Viper going for an Aura item that'll help buff up his carry. And this Guardian Greaves is also going to be done soon. Oh, it is done now, so this Sniper is going to be really hard to take down if the other two cores are still alive. Invis at bot. 35-minute bounty runes coming up. Gonna be 2 for 2. So the first time in a while that HP Dota have been able to snag any bounty runes. Bench. She's going for a Flats next. Another Aura item to help buff up the Sniper. Also gives him some lifesteal for some sustain. Pretty good item overall. And that percentage damage increase gonna be great for the Sniper. With all this plus damage that he's going for, Vlad gets plus damage based on both the Agi and the raw damage, unlike the Venge Aura. So great pickup for the Sniper. This Sniper, he's gonna hit so hard now. It's Mjolnir with the Bloodlust. They can put the Mjolnir buff on the Viper out in front, so the Viper can tank a little bit harder as well. Viper going for a Butterfly, but I think this game will probably end before he gets the Butterfly. They're in a commanding position right now, so they should just go for Roche and then go for the high ground. No wards yet from the side of $6 million Echo Slam to set up for the ward. This Observe ward spots a lot of what they're doing, and they see the smoke. So let's see what HP decide to do to respond. It's pretty likely they're smoking into the Roche pit, and that's what they're gonna. Venge, no wards. Her wards are in her backpack. They're gonna walk up the hill, find the Lifestealer. He gets bashed during the rage. And get another bash. Nice infest from the Weaver to get the Lifestealer out of here. But the Courier goes down again. That's Lifestealer's S and Y. Rolling Thunder used. They'll get the Shadow Shaman. And that's a big part of their defense right now. There's not much defense left. Another bash comes out onto the Lifestealer right after he leaves the infest. Ankly causing so much chaos with this basher, and they just gotta go high ground. The Serpent Wards are down, so they have nothing to fear from the Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman doesn't have buyback either. The Undying's gonna go down. Magic Missile into the Fire Blast. This Aether Lens Fire Blast having huge range, and there's 2 down from the side of HP with no buyback. They're gonna take this the range racks. There's backdoor protection. First hit bash onto the Weaver, and he's gonna go down afterwards. This Lincoln's not helping him at all. A Fire Blast onto the Lion. Lion getting pretty low, but no Assassinate lined up for the Sniper, unfortunately. Almost level 20. We'll see what kind of talent he wants to go for. The Assassinate cast time is pretty cool. And they're going to go straight for the throne. They have no fear on the side of $6 million Echo Stand. There's still 2 heroes on the side of HP with no buyback. And this is going to be the last stand from $6 million HP Dota. The Shadow Shaman goes down pretty early. Lifestealer manages to get the Venge, but he's gonna go down. Buyback on the Lifestealer, there's a buyback on the Lion too, but there's no way that this Lifestealer can take on all 4 heroes by himself. Fest comes out, Undying is back up, but doesn't have the Tombstone, and the Lifestealer will die back, the Undying goes down too, and the Lion goes down. It's gonna be GG called, this game's over. GG. The Sniper doing so much damage for his enemy team. He just did 7,000 damage against in that little last stand. Great positioning from the Viper and the Sniper combined. Able to dish out so much damage this game. 29,000 damage from the Sniper, another 29,000 coming out from the Viper. So big damage numbers coming all around, and this Sniper pick wasn't very well punished. He picked it last and it worked out. So good stuff from $6 million Echo Slam. Great showing overall.